we're talking on the subject of abuse and the effects, but also not just the effects, ladies and gentlemen. It's the resilience. It's seeking the proper help. It's instead of holding it inside. It's again seeking the proper help. It's finding someone that you can rely on and rely in to explain the trauma that you have been through. And I can say this, about myself. I would not be the person that I've grown to be on Positive Avenue. I would not be the person such as motivational guru and all the wonderful things that God has allowed me to do since overcoming. If not, I did not discuss with, talk about. B, if I did not seek the proper help. C, if I did not learn to forgive. And D, if I didn't keep God in my heart. I know for a fact that, no, I would not be the person that I've grown to be. Ladies and gentlemen, we can blame it on the current administration, government. We can blame it on lack of. We can blame it. We can find everything to blame. Why? But I will say this, unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, abuse is administered by a person who have been abused in their lifetime. Why? Because they have not sought out the necessary help, assistance to help them to overcome. I know for a fact that there has been times that, I have, and I'm just going to go on record. You can call it what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I have abused myself. I had been abused so much that I had began to turn around and begin to abuse myself physically, mentally, verbally, disgracing myself, wanting to demolish myself, drinking myself under the table, if you will, and having the attitude that I just don't care. And it got to the point, so much to the point that it's almost like I got to the edge. And there are a lot of people who have been abused to that point, afraid to seek out the necessary help that will help them, that will assist them, that will empower them to emerge as an overcomer. But unfortunately, they lack to seek the necessary help. We can look at all the individuals who we pass on a daily, who are, who have taken up sleeping, if you will, on our nation's street. We can look at the many individuals who are incarcerated for one crime or another. Whether that crime be pedophilia, whether that crime be murder, whether that crime be robbery. And something tells me, if you set them in front of a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist was able to get inside of their thinking, they will uncover abuse somewhere in that individual. On a daily, right now I'm doing this show right now. It is now, let me see here, it is now 7:37 p.m. 7:37 p.m. on a Wednesday evening. And it hurts me, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm getting ready to say what I'm getting ready to say, but it's reality. Somewhere in this country, now, you know, we can look at Africa, we can look at India, but I'm talking about America. Somewhere in America, right now, this second, some child is being abused. Some child is being tampered with. Some child's hopes and dreams and desire of life is being demolished because of some type of abuse. Whether that abuse is physical, mental, sexual, or what have you. And you know, I'm saying, if you are laying down, I'm going there, if you are laying down and you are having wonderful relationship with your better half, and 9 months later, you birth this beautiful, wonderful looking child, baby. And this baby could just be God's blessing to this world, not just America, to this world. This baby could be that one, that chosen one, with the cure to some of our worst diseases. But what happens? That child is picked apart. That child's mental is picked apart. That child's physical is picked apart. That child's sexual organs are picked apart. And to have some grown man or woman to do this to a child, to annihilate this child, and then to top it off with, if you tell, I'll kill you. If you don't do this, I will hurt you. If you don't do this, I will tell on you. These are the sideshows that destroys a child. And you know, it's amazing, here we are now because of what is happening in Hollywood. Now you have others who are coming forth and saying, I was abused. Well, you know, because one is abused, that does not give one the excuse to go out and bring that harm upon another, to destroy another life. Because I was abused, I do not have the right to turn around and abuse my children in such fashion, to destroy my children's hopes and dreams and desires for their future. But unfortunately, because of the lack of education, this is an ongoing, trifling cycle that we must face. And we must get past our fears. We must get past our shortcomings. We must get past those doors that attempt to stop us from overcoming the pain. My pastor told me, he said, look, this was back in the days, he said, son, I am so thankful that you are talking about this. But I want you to know the devil is busy. He will take your weakness and he will attempt to use it against you. That's why you must continue to stay prayed up. Because if you don't, you will find yourself repeating those same painstaking agonies, and it's going to destroy you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are tuned in tonight, And if you are an unfortunate victim of abuse, again, whether that abuse is physical, mental, sexual, verbal, and if you are, because of these abuses, you find yourself weak, you find yourself abusing alcohol, you find yourself abusing drugs, you find yourself abusing cigarettes, or you find yourself verbally abusing someone else, and even if you find yourself wanting to commit suicide, I beg of you to get the necessary assistance and the necessary help that you need to overcome and to continue to live your life. But not just continue to live your life, but to live your life on a higher level, if I could use that term. Because we have so many of us that are drowning, that are falling short of their excelling, of their motivation, of their inspiring, of their ability to teach a new generation that's coming through. And I will say this, that having the blessing to work with many thousands upon thousands of our young people, students, our youth, our small children, and just to sit at their footstool, just to sit at their feet, to listen to them and what they are disseminating, and to hear the horror stories that they are bringing out to the forefront. How they are physically abused, how they are verbally abused. I can't tell you how many kids, children, in the 30 years that I've been on the forefront have opened up to me about their abuses, about their pain and their agony. And their abuses, please, with their abuses, it's not always in the area of them being abused, but their abuses of seeing their mom abused. Their abuses of seeing their little brother abused. Their abuses of seeing of not having their father present. Yeah, a broken home, a shattered home, without the two parents present, father and mother. A lot of us don't look at that as being an abusive situation, but it is. Why? Well, because those children that are born, and I'm going to say it out of wedlock, they're not getting the necessary nutrition that they need to grow to be affirmative, positive, strong living, example setting adults. One may argue the fact and say, well, wait a minute, they're getting the necessary nutrition. They're eating 3 meals a day, but it's not about the meals, the 3 meals that they're eating a day. You think about when a child comes and asks that question, where's my daddy? Why I can't see my daddy? You don't think that's abuse? When that child begins to act out in school, when that child begins to, when his attitude begins to decrease, or when that child begins to find love in all the wrong places, and when that child begins to turn his anger on that mother, And the mother says, yeah. The mother says, let's get this out in the open. The mother says, if that child, I dare that child to say something out of his mouth. I'll smack. Well, guess what? Mom, you're hurting too. Think about that. And when we ask the question, I can't understand for the likes of me why my child is acting out like that. I didn't raise. Think about some things. Think about where you might be going wrong. You might have done wrong. I was listening to something where they were saying that, when you're grooming, educating, loving, nourishing your children about drugs and alcohol, be open with them. Talk about some things that you did when you were their age. Because you must let our children, see, our children nowadays, they are totally on a different atmosphere than what we were when we came through baby boomers. We can't say, well, I've never done those things. I was a goody two-shoe. I was very obedient coming up. Well, my parents never had any issues out of me. And don't get me wrong, there are a certain segment of children that coming through that are angels. I take my hat off to. But there are a large sector of us baby boomers who have experienced the world. And I will say straight up is that when my son was coming through, I opened up and I shared my life with him. The pains, the agonies, the torment. I shared my failures. I shared my alcohol. I shared my drug years. I shared those with my son because I wanted him to see. I even shared my years in the foster home with all the abuse that I've been through. I shared it with him. I felt awkward, but he knows my life. He knows how I tick. He also knows what I stand for. And he also knows, more importantly than what I stand for, not what I've done, but what I'm doing to help others through the pain. And he also knows that there is no shame to my game to say, son, I love you. Son, I'm proud of you. And when I speak to the thousands of children, youth, young adults, I'm not ashamed to come out of my face and out of my heart to let them know that I love them. In the midst of letting them know that I love them, I want to show them that there is opportunity. There is growth. There are doors of wisdom. To let them know that not only do I love them, but God loves them even more. The resilience of abuse and the time that I have remaining. Seek the necessary help. I will admit that at first I thought it was ludicrous of going to see a psychiatrist. But I will admit that, yes, I've seen psychiatrists. Yes, I've seen those days where I laid on those couches, opening my life. At first, no, I didn't want to. I thought it was a waste of my time. But I will say that laying on that couch opened up some doors, and it answered some questions. It answered some questions that I had deep in my mind about myself, my abilities, why I'm here, why was I born? Why do I do everything backwards? Why am I always in trouble? Why am I worthless? Why was that done to me? And believe it or not, you have grown men and women who have been abused, and yes, they are 60, 61, 70 years old, 40 years old, 30 years old, still asking that question. Why was this done to me? I did not deserve this. And ladies and gentlemen, I did not deserve what happened to me. But I will say this, through the power of God and through the power of all the people who were put in my life to assist me, to help me, to groom me, to empower me, to motivate me, to coerce me, if you will, to forward me in the best possible manner possible, to help groom me so that I could be the person that I have grown to be today, I am thankful. Now, do that mean that, I'm 100% cured of my pain? Do that mean that I do not get visits from my past? No, it don't. But I will say this, the help that has been given to me over the years, when that visit do come, I know how to stand tall. When that visit do come, and when that visit do shake me to my core, I'm thankful that I can shout out the name of God and the name of Jesus to give me the strength. I'm thankful that I can pick up the phone and I can seek the help that I necessarily need to help me to continue to be that person that I am. Because, ladies and gentlemen, whatever type of abuse that you've been through, whatever type of abuse that you're carrying, let me tell you something. That's a lot of weight to carry. I've had people who are millionaires to come to me and write me letters and ask the question of, how did I overcome? What did I do? And I'm sure someone that's listening tonight, you probably have had someone to come to you with that same question. How do I overcome? How did you overcome? Why are you so strong with the things that you have been through? Well, as my time winds down tonight, I will say first and foremost, I hope that I've given someone some knowledge tonight on this subject of abuse. I hope that I've got someone who, I've given someone who has been abused, whether a child or adult, baby boomer. I hope I've opened up Pandora's box. And opening up Pandora's box, I hope I've given you the strength that you may need to shake off the pain that you carry with you daily. And I hope that in the midst of giving you tidbits of information, that you will seek the necessary help that you need. And I hope that you will share within your family, to your children, to your grandchildren, and if you're old enough to have great-grandchildren, I pray that you will protect them from the harm of a family abuser. I hope you will protect them from the abusers that are walking out on the streets these days. Halloween is coming. I hope that you will protect your children before you send them out. I hope that you will put a guard protection around them, a suit of armor on them, and as well yourself. And as I get ready to end, I will say this, that if you are seeking someone who has been through that pain to come out and to speak on the subject of abuse, whether that abuse is physical, mental, verbal, sexual, please, I ask that you do not hesitate to give me a call. My number is 813-394-5875. Let us talk about how I could possibly come in and be your speaker and possibly help someone. And if not, I ask that you go to your nearest directory and you seek the necessary help to help you be an overcomer. As my time winds down, again, you can purchase The Power of Being a Winner, the #1 book from myself. You can also, I should say, you can purchase this book on Amazon. And the DVD that goes along with it, you can purchase it from myself. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of The Power of Being a Winner, and I am always thankful for being your host. Until next week, God bless.